the thing with Andrew, I love this. Everything is like immediate. So the Columbia, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go in like a month. It's like, no, I need you this week. Like, turn around, get on a plane, and go over to Columbia. And so I'm like, okay. And so I had to jump through a few hoops.
Yeah.
I won't go into all the details of the hoops I had to jump through, but I had to jump through quite a few hoops to get over to Columbia.
Because this is during COVID, right?
It's during COVID.
Damn.
I mean, nothing like, I didn't do anything crazy. Like, everything was textbook, but I made it to Columbia. And what's funny is I knew what city I was going to. I don't know how to pronounce it right. The locals call it Medellin, and they like a J on it. Medellin, however you say it.
The Vinny Chase movie.
Yes.
From Entourage.
I knew that I was landing in that city, but I didn't really know where I was going. And so he and his team basically told me there would be a driver waiting on me. So I land, and there's this just tiny little Colombian man with the Cobra chess piece logo. And I'm like, Cobra Tate, okay, it's gotta be him. And so homeboy didn't speak English, and I certainly don't speak Spanish. And so I hop in this man's little taxi, and he just drives me to this hotel. And I'm like texting everybody. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Like no response. I'm like, oh no. I'm just sitting in the rain. It's raining outside. I've got my camera bag in my suitcase, and I'm just getting rained on. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so I told them where I was at, and I finally get a text back. They're like, hey, you're in the wrong spot, G. You need to be here. I'm like, okay, I'll be right.
G. Okay, G.
And let it be known, Andrew's the only person who can say G, and it sounds cool. Everyone else, it doesn't sound cool. But when he says it, I'm like, I don't know, it's cool. It's Andrew. But anyway, I show up, and believe it or not, Andrew was not there. I don't know if I think he had business to tend to in some other country. And so Tristan stepped in place of Andrew. And so I'll never forget. These boys, I've never met anyone in my life who has the presence that Andrew and Tristan have. I don't know how else to describe it. I've worked with a lot of big names. When you walk into the room with these boys, they run the room. Like, you can just, I don't want to get like frou-frou or whatever, but they just radiate a presence, and you just feel it. They walk into a room, everybody's turning their heads. Even if they don't know who they are, everyone's heads are turning. And it's so cool. I don't know how to like describe it, but it almost rubs off on you. And we can talk more about that later, but working with him, I've always been confident, but that boosted my confidence.
Right.
Because now I go into a sales meeting, I'm like, I'm the man. Because that energy that he has, it rubs off to the people around him. But anyway, I digress. I go to Columbia, and I basically hit it off with Tristan. And the big takeaway, the reason I got my in, and I preach this all the time, always over-deliver.
Yep.
And so they hired me to make a promo video of the event that they were throwing. It was like a conference. And so that was my job, was to make one video. I didn't just make one video. I made 6.
Wow.
So I made one promo video, and I made 5 testimonials. So I would just pull people aside, and I'd film a testimonial video, and I'd like make it really cinematic. I'd get B-roll of the whole event. I made it like super baller.
Yeah.
So I made 5 testimonial videos, and they ended up hiring a photographer for the event. I think the photographer started his photography journey like a week before that, because he didn't know what to do. Scott would appreciate this. He's literally using an F4 in a club. Like, it's pitch black, and he comes up to me, and he was like, why is your image like, why can you see? I can't see anything out of mine. I'm like, bro, it's because I'm using a 1.4 and you're using a 4.0. Like, you have no idea what you're doing. And homeboy, literally, we're at the club. He gets so drunk. I actually think someone spiked his drink. He's passed out, completely unresponsive.
Jeez.
And I'm like, you're the hired photographer.
And this is how you're acting.
And you're getting like drunk in the club. The reason Andrew enjoys doing business with me, and I preach this all the time to my employees as well, my team. I don't like calling them my employees or my team. I can't do what I do without them. You got to stay professional 100% of the time. You cannot slip. Like, you got to know your place. When I get hired to make a video, I'm not there to enjoy the cigars or the drinks. Believe it or not, they don't do that as much as you would think. I'm not there to enjoy the women that are in proximity. No, I'm there to record. I'm there to work, keep it professional 100% of the time.
Wow.
There's a time and a place to enjoy, spending time with them, but I'm not there to hang out. I'm their friend now, but I'm not there to be friends. I'm there to get the job done for them. and to deliver a high-quality product. So anyway, I delivered for Tristan, and then Tristan showed it to Andrew, and then Andrew texted me after the event, and he was like, mission accomplished. I like your work. He said, I need a full-time guy to travel the world and make videos for my various brands. I was just at a position where I couldn't do it because I own a production company. I work with businesses all over the world. Like, I work with big names everywhere. That offer meant the world to me. And I'm a little older than some people on, money Twitter. I see all these like 19-year-olds crushing it. I'm 27. And so I have a team.
You're young, bro.
Young. In the grand scheme of things, I'm very young. I'm very young. Yeah. But I have a team. I have people who rely on me. Their well-being is in my hands, and I take that very seriously. Yeah. And I can't just up and leave and go work with anyone, it doesn't matter who it is, exclusively, and just kick my team to the curb. Because, their living is based upon the vehicle that I've produced at this point. And I love my team. They're like family, and I can't kick them to the curb. So I had to tell him no. And he was like, all right, that sounds good. If I want to hire you for anything, like, what's your rate? So I broke down what my rate is, and then I never heard from him again. And I was like,
That cheap. That brokey.
No. I just realized that I know my skill set. I'm very good. I'm world class. But there are people that are just as good, if not better than me. So I'm like, there's probably someone out there who's willing to produce something similar quality and cheaper. And he probably went with them. And, it was a cool experience. Maybe I'll meet him one day. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this short clip, check out the full interview here. And if you want to see more clips from this episode, check it out right here.